Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We had 4 games yesterday. We've got 4 games to recap. We had drama. So much drama. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us. Those of you who have been with us for this whole run, we love you. Any new listeners, appreciate you too. Coming to you live from the Roosevelt Studios in the Bronx. That's rsvlts.com/Jomboy. Get yourself some fun swag. My name's Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. We got Trevor coming in from California and producer Bug Dude behind the dish. 4 games yesterday. Will be 8 minutes on the clock per game. We will recap, give our thoughts, let you know what happened if you missed any of them. It's hard to watch all 4 games, but Trev did it.
I did.
How you doing, Trev?
I'm doing great. An excellent day of baseball. As we talked about before the show, I had a great day on our picks and the Homer draft. And what's really cool is we're seeing guys step up. And apparently the Rays had a Mookie Betts-like player just stashed away at the alternate site, and he has really taken off. And I love when that happens. So I had a good day yesterday. How about you guys?
Should we call this guy up? He plays at an MVP level. I don't know.
You said, don't trade with the Rays. If you're a baseball team, just avoid that whole system.
Don't want to take away at bats from Hunter Renfroe. Yeah, man, we're seeing some dudes stand out. Excited for Belly, man. He obviously robs the homer. He hits a homer. Hopefully he can put his postseason hitting woes behind him. And yeah, man, some strong performances. You know, we're not looking back at any Marcus Semien blowing the game. Instead, we're looking at Marcus Semien hitting a big homer, and the A's do some good stuff. Braves continue their pitching. So it's, said it before, say it again. Baseball's hot in the streets, and it's fun, man.
Yeah.
Cheap hindered going oppo tank job to save the season.
Huge.
Did you get what you wanted? Yesterday you were requesting drama, big game.
Yeah, I mean, that Dodgers-Padres was must watch. The A's, I mean, we'll get there, and I don't want to jump ahead.
We are a Cron Pod.
We are a Cron Pod. The A's are up 4-2, and then in one inning they're down 7-4 in a 2-0 game. Season on the line, they just blew it to the bad guys again, and then they fought back, and then the Dodgers and Padres are having a high school street fight last night. Like, I love it. Yes, the knob got turned last night.
Ooh, turn the knob.
Turn these knobs, Daddy.
Whoa. So this episode of Talkin' Baseball is brought to you by our listeners, supporters, and community. But especially today, it's Michael McKenna, Ronnie Crawford, Impeach the Paw Patrol, FD, Scott, Michael Mendoza, Andrew Martinez, Will, Jose Rodriguez, Orlando, Kate Harrington, and Sam Mueller. Those are our most recent patrons. We appreciate them. They can watch live with us in the morning. They can listen to us pregame. Sometimes we do a long postgame when we have time, and they help us out, and we love them, and we support them.
Thank you.
Thanks. You guys.
All right, let's get right into the Cron Pod. The first game, as always, is the Braves. They always play first. We had the rookie, Ian Anderson, going up against Pablo Lopez. The Braves win on 2 solo shots from the same 2 dudes that hit home runs in game 1. How about that? Darno goes deep, Swanson goes deep, and that's it. Ian Anderson deals. He's the real deal right now. He goes 5.2, only gives up 3 hits, 0 earned runs. He hands it to their bullpen of the guys we talked about yesterday. Names that you've never thought of them as killers, but here they are all getting it done, the experience and all that. Darren O'Day, Madzik, Will Smith, Melanson. They go scoreless, hitless, those 4. Marlins only get 3 hits. So when the Marlins had 4 hits, the Braves, the Marlins only had 3 hits. The Braves only had 4 hits. Just 2 of them were home runs. Pablo Lopez missed his spot twice. The d'Arnaud one, he might have hit his spot. The d'Arnaud home run's kind of badass. Like
pulled
that's
those hands in right there.
Pulled those hands in and got it. The Swanson home run, he wanted a high fastball. It was a low fastball, and Dansby, kudos to him. Not the kind of guy that you think is going to crush a mistake like that. And that's the game. 2-0. I don't know. You got anything, Jake?
Don't tell Dansby that. He's got that chip on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Got traded, man. He's feeling it. Good for him. Good for d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud, he was a big prospect going back a few moons for the Mets. He had a big injury history. He got cut by the Mets last year.
Mm-hmm. Mets are down.
And then he started playing really well for the Rays. The Braves gave him a nice little contract, and we were kind of like, why don't you go pay Yasmani or something like that? d'Arnaud raked this whole year, OPS in the 9th. He bats cleanup on a team with Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna Jr., Freddie Freeman, and Marcell Ozuna. And it's not like a gimmick. He's doing the damn thing. So awesome for him. Ian Anderson, he had a 1.95 ERA in the regular season, 32.1 innings. His playoff performance is now 11.2 innings in the 2 starts, 17 punchies, 5 hits, 3 walks. So, I mean, it's not like guys are just hitting it at people. Like, he's doing it. Jim Cott and Buck Showalter in the booth were drooling over him. They were like, yeah, that's what you want a pitcher to look like, baby. So I don't know, excited for the Braves. And hey, Pablo Lopez, he shoved too. The Marlins, they got beat though. And something nice about the playoffs, you find out more of the story. We've been tracking kind of these Marlins pitchers all year. They said it a few times, which, you get that on a broadcast, but the Pablo Lopez story with when they originally banged the season, he was throwing with his dad every day. They were quarantining together. Then the season comes back. His dad has a heart attack and passes right before the season. And then the Marlins got COVIDed, so he was in the hotel room like by himself with all of that emotion. So to find out that story, Pablo Lopez got a fan in me, and I think he got a lot of other fans last night. But good for the Braves, man. They just keep doing the damn thing, and they can pitch. They can pitch. Trev?
I have a question that's not about this game.
There's nothing left to talk about, Jake. You really killed it right there. I got to be honest.
Appreciate you.
Go ahead, Jim.
Who's the GM of the Mets when they made the R.A. Dickey trade?
Ooh.
I should know this.
Wasn't Phillips, right?
2012 Mets GM.
Sandy something.
Alderson?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was Alderson. When you type 2012 Mets GM, that's what comes up. Yeah.
Good trade. Flipped 1 year of weirdo Dickey for Thor and d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud didn't work out for the Mets, and then they moved on from him, but it's like d'Arnaud or Dickey and Tolley.
Yeah. Sell high.
Dickey's, that's an incredible
fucking knuckleballer who
story,
won the Cy Young.
The Thing.
Buying into a knuckleballer who won the Cy Young. All right, whatever. I just was reliving that trade, and it looks hilarious now.
I do want to say a few things on the game, if that's all right with you guys.
Would love that.
Yeah,
Number one, yes, put some respect on Ian Anderson's name. First of all, the guy has done it all season long.
It's pronounced Ian, so why don't you put some respect on his name?
Ooh.
Whatever it's pronounced, I'll call him whatever he wants me to call him.
Yeah.
Probably
That's what he's
Ian.
doing to me.
Probably
Just
Ian.
Ian.
Yeah, probably Ian.
Ion thing just got
Ion.
busted.
Ion Anderson, my guy, has been doing it all year long. Put some respect on the name. And then I go back. I want to see your pedigree. Who are you? Where did you come from?
Where's he from, baby? Where's he
New
from?
York?
Yep.
Yeah, Shenandoah.
Shenandoah, baby.
Yeah, the Shenandoah
Clifton Park
Shadester, they
High.
call him.
But the thing about it is, we should have known this is coming. This guy's a 3rd overall pick. It's not like he came out of nowhere. This guy's legit. So now you got Fried and Anderson at the top of your rotation. The Braves are looking legit for years to come. They got those guys so cheap, dude. Acuna, cheap. 7 years, 100. Is that what it was? That's cheap.
Can I tell you something? Gonna make
Ozzie
you like.
Albies, cheap.
Can I tell you something that's gonna make you like Ian Anderson a little more?
Sure.
Grew up a Red Sox fan, hates the Yankees.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Because then when you get in the pro ball, you don't care about anything.
Well, I'm just telling you, you're a Yankee hater, so you probably like him.
I'm not a Yankee hater. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm like
Yeah,
a
you
Jake
rooted for
and
the
a
South.
Jimmy hater.
There you go.
I like seeing your guys' misery a little bit.
Zuri
I don't
loves company.
You like acting like it, but you don't actually like it.
Hey, we're talking about Braves Marlins. We can talk Yankees later.
I'm telling you,
If the Braves can do this
up.
if the Braves can do this with their bullpen, if Ian Anderson can give them these starts, we'll see what Kyle Wright does today and what they do with their bullpen, because I think up 2-0 in the series, they're going to kind of chill on the bullpen guys we've been talking about. They both pitched 2 days in a row. I think they'd rather save them in Game 3 and have a full attack rest Game 4. So we'll see what the plan is with Kyle Wright Game 3 today. But if their bullpen can do this, go 4 shutout innings, and then their pitchers can hand the ball to them. Like if they can win 2-0 games, the Braves are very scary. I didn't think they could win 2-0 games. They're proving me wrong. So go Braves, go.
Will Smith and Mark Berlanson have been legit relievers for quite some time. You know, Darren O'Day's kind of kick tires, been around, and the other guy who pitched yesterday was who? Tyler Matzik. Kind of a
young, he's good, lefty.
Or whatever. Was he a starter at some point? I feel like he was. Maybe getting somebody mixed up. But these guys have been doing it for a while. So they have a good mixture of young talent, veteran presence. I just looked. Freddie Freeman's a free agent after next year. That's going to be an interesting thing for them. Seems like that guy's going to be a Brave his whole career. I mean, it's just what it looks like.
Awesome.
What's
you
the
got
news?
All those...
Oh. I thought it was he hit the passing news. I thought it was breaking news, but it's supposed to be the 2-minute bell.
But like I said, these guys are set up for success. They have these guys on really team-friendly contracts, so they can go out and spend on Freddie if they need to. They can lock up. I mean, they're going to try to lock up Max Fried and probably Ian Anderson this offseason. If I was them, that's exactly what I would do.
I remember I was reading an article. I forget if it was this preseason or last preseason, and one of the short kings of baseball who I respect said, if the Braves don't win multiple titles in the upcoming decade, it's a massive failure. And I was like, whoa, multiple titles? Like, that's heavy. And the reason they said that is because they still have help on the way. This dude, Kyle Wright, they've got other pitchers coming. Like, we saw Ronnie and Acuna, and Freddie's been there. Like, they've got more help on the way. They are set up.
But payroll flexibility to go get the pieces you need. That's the recipe, man.
Hamels and Ozuna come off the books next year. We're getting into a little too much stuff. Hey, Fish, fight, baby.
Ian Anderson has a twin. Ian Anderson has a twin brother who was his catcher in high school.
Yeah.
Oof. Interesting.
So
it's in Double-A. Ben Anderson.
Trying to look at what else we got from this game. Yeah, I mean, 3 hits for the Marlins, only 4 for the Braves, like you said, but they made them count.
They were pitching.
Yeah, I think we're good here. I mean, Braves look good. If they can win that kind of game and they can win the games where their offense goes crazy, that's a good sign. Like that's more. If they banged again and won like 10-4 and like everyone was hitting, okay, we know they can do this. But this is a little more impressive that their pitching can hold up.
Joshua Cook in the chat just mentions it quickly. Chris Martin, Shane Green, and AJ Minter, 3 show relievers, didn't pitch for them yesterday. Like, they got a pen, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to say this, though.
Say it.
It's not like the 27 Yankees lineup they just went through, though.
If they go on and face the Dodgers, I think these conversations could change. They face the Marlins and the Reds.
I ain't saying I'm not trying to say the Braves are going to beat the Dodgers.
Everyone's thinking it.
Yeah.
Everyone's
they ain't going to win games like this.
They're playing they're playing who they're scheduled to play, and they're doing a good job.
Next,
Houston Astros, A's. Good game here. Do I have the wrong game?
No, you got it, baby. 9-7.
9-7.
This was Urquidy gets the start because Greinke's got arm stuff going on. baby Jesus. A's need him. They both end up with pretty similar stat lines by the end of it. 4.1, 4 earned runs. Urquidy gives up 4 yackers. Luzardo gives up 2. And yeah, I mean, the big inning, besides the 2-hole hitters who hit home runs in the first inning.
Nice call,
Stats that exist but don't matter. Go check them out. The series felt like it was over. The big guys homered, Olsen and Simeon for the A's. They got the lead. It's 4-2, top 5. And then the bad guys, the Astros, they put up 5 in the 5th, and you're like, damn, well, it's over, huh? But Chad Pinder with the big Oppo Taco 3-run homer to tie it. They get a couple sac flies in the 8th, and Liam Hendricks drops it on the table. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 4 Ks, only 37 pitches in 3 innings on the table. A's get a win, and they needed it. Dumb sports analysis.
Remember when we were doing the pregame show? We were doing the pregame show, and I remember that Liam Hendricks was available, and I was like, ooh, that's kind of the only thing that's the difference maker for me, like mentally. I mean, he's the only one bringing the vim and vinegar. He goes single, and then the ump calls a phantom catcher's interference, and you're like, oh, shit. 2 on, no outs?
Yeah, what was that?
This is a terrible situation. Weird. And Liam Hendricks drops his Australian uncircumcised penis onto the table.
I'm not confirming nor denying.
Lived in Australia. My brother was born in Australia. Circumcisions are very not a thing in Australia. Saw a lot of classmates naked when I lived in Australia.
Yeah. You're not lying.
Changing into our Speedos for swimming.
How old were the kids you saw naked?
We're talking grade 1.
Okay.
Year 1. They say year. They say year 1, year 2.
So you're saying you saw a lot of 6, 7-year-olds naked.
No, 8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10-year-olds naked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot about the schooling system in Australia. They don't necessarily go and finish high school. They go into trade school.
Yeah, and after like 4th grade, they go into all boys and all girls schools, and that takes you through high school if you go.
We would make fun of this one guy, Luke Hughes. I don't know if you guys remember that name, because he only went through grade 11. So we were just calling him a dummy because he didn't finish high school. And he'd be like, mate, that's not how we do things. In Australia, I was in trade school to be an electrician. I'm like, okay.
Can you talk like
Luke, you dummy?
Can you talk like Luke Hughes more?
I don't like that. I'm not a good accent person. But I want to say something.
When I was in grade 2, my school got robbed and my principal got beat up while we were in school. Our school got robbed twice while we were there in Australia because we were right off the train line. They'd rob the bank, they'd hop on the train, and they'd take it to our stop, and then they'd get off and rob our school. It happened twice in the 2 years I was there. And one time they just beat up our principal. Our principal had a black eye. He came on the announcer and he was like, I dialed. I'm not going to do Australian accent, but I dialed 0000. That's like their 911 or something like that. But I got beat up. Take the day off, Prince.
All right. Okay.
Trev, you were saying.
Yeah. Liam Hendricks, difference maker. Got out of the jam.
Yeah, I believe he's available again today for 1
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like he's coming. Chi Pinder. That's Chad Pinder. That's what everyone calls him, Chi. I'm very friendly with him. I loved him when we played together. We developed a really nice bond. So I've been talking to him throughout the playoffs. And he had a baby in August or something like that. So I'm asking him how it's going. He sent me the saddest text.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
He said, it's going great. Being a dad is great, except I haven't seen my son or my child. I forget what he has. I'm sorry. I don't want to mess it up. I haven't seen my child since it was born.
Oh.
So they saw the birth, but they had to go back in and kind of quarantine, and he'd been around the players, all that stuff. So this guy hasn't even seen his kids. He's going Oppo Homer. He's got Oppo juice. We talked about the juice that he has. And another thing about him, he's one of the unsung heroes of the playoffs. We always look for those guys. Randy Arozarena is one of them, but he's kind of like the best player ever.
Yeah.
Chi Pinder is the guy that's coming up and showing up, playing third base. Matt Chapman's not there. Can play all over the field. I love it, man. That was such a huge moment. Like, I literally got off my couch and like screamed, and my wife was yelling at me because my daughter was snapping. Whatever. It was awesome. Go Chi.
I too have scared your daughter.
True.
Couple big things for me. Top of the lineup: Simeon, Listella, Pinder, all get on base 3 times each. The top 3 hitters 3 times. That's good. Olsen moves up in the lineup. He hits the moondog. He has a walk as well. He looks a little better. Mark Canha behind him gets on base twice. I love that they had to win this game. It wasn't Houston blowing it. The A's almost blew it. They come back and they win this game. Diekman, also good out of the pen. He was their other scariest option this year. And Bob Melvin hit some buttons. We talked about that. Moved Olsen up in the lineup. Kept Chad Pinder playing third base. They've been playing Lamb against righties. Believed in his guy, and it paid off. I love it. You got some buttons hit, and they worked, and you lit the couple guys that need to be lit for Oakland. I'm feeling good about them.
Yeah, I think Houston might be playing for Game 5, too, with Tibbet going today and a lot of arms being used. So.
And they're tweeting at Carabas before the game. They were acting before this game like they already won the series.
The Astros account?
No, players.
Oh, McCullers.
McCullers.
Well, McCullers, and then he deleted his Twitter.
Correa,
He deleted his Twitter?
McCullers did, because he went into the mud and
soft.
He's soft, and he tried to not be soft, and
it's probably my worst take I've ever given on this show. I apologize for that take, everybody.
It's okay. We know what you're kind of know what you're going for. You were like, if you was on a team with me, I think I'd be into it. Which you kind of have to if you're on a team.
Because I wouldn't let that happen. Because I look at my outfit today, I'm pure as the driven snow.
Purest man in baseball, they say.
Correa was tweeting at him too.
He was there was the quotes going on. Martino got involved, and I don't know. The whole thing was just messy.
Correa.
Why are they denying that Martino news?
Because
it's very
nuts.
It's very clear you guys want
crazy.
It's very clear you guys are driven by the hate you are receiving. And that's fine. Like, I've almost applauded them for that.
Yeah.
And now they're like, that's not true.
They're insane.
They're just
insane. It's not that they're insane. It's not that
they're in a
dumb.
blender of delusion.
They're in an impossible situation. How are you supposed to act? Like, they cheated.
Just shut up and play.
That's the best thing they could do is just absolutely say nothing, and then we would say something about that too. They're in an impossible situation. There's no right way for them to do anything. Like, they're hated, and they're gonna be hated, dude. Like, that is the reality of the situation. And like, I think they've realized that. Like, whatever they do, people are just like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're a cheater. When you have to live with that, like, the rest of your career, when you experience the opposite end of that, when you were the beloved franchise and the beloved team of baseball, like, they don't know what to do, dude. It's really hard for them. That's kind of what I was talking about this year. Like, I feel for these guys. Like, they're not like bad people, dude. Like, they're not like, I don't know, is Osuna still on the team? Because he's a bad person, but they're not bad people. They did a bad thing, and they weren't able to pay the price for it. Like a guy that does steroids, he pays his toll. He goes and gets suspended. They didn't have any of that. So people are pissed at them. And now they're just in this world where they're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, people hate us, and there's no way we're going to get out of this hole. It's tough, man.
Yeah, but don't, like...
They're handling it poorly.
Yeah. I agree, it's a tough situation. They also did it.
Yeah, I know.
That's the biggest part.
Don't rob a bank if you don't want to be called a bank robber.
I really, one day we're going to find out, like, who the fuck started this whole thing. Like, was it Beltran?
We got a lot of off-season, too. Let's get some games.
No, it was...
Was it Cora?
No.
It was, huh?
The front office.
The front office. It was
they said that, but no, dude, that's...
Okay, let's do this in the offseason. We got playoff games we're talking about. Fuck those guys. A's and 5. Next.
There had to be a player that said, fuck it, let's do it, and let's do it this way. Sorry. Yeah, I agree.
The next game is Yankees-Rays. The Yankees. Oh, the next game is actually. Hold on. You guys aren't going to want to miss this.
Is it brought to you by DraftKings, Jim?
I don't know, Jake. Maybe. Week 4 of football is in the books. Now it's time to review the tape and get ready for Week 5. There's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings Sportsbook. That's Empire with the DraftKings. Mixing and matching. America's top-rated sportsbook app. To add to the excitement of Week 5, DraftKings Sportsbook is bringing back their can't-miss offer. If you haven't tried DraftKings Sportsbook yet, head to the App Store now because you don't want to miss this. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new users the chance to receive a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. I could use that as I just signed a lease yesterday. On top of that great sign-up offer, DraftKings offers great odds and boosts every Sunday to help you make it rain. Don't worry if football isn't for you. DraftKings is giving all you basketball fans a 200% profit boost on any basketball market once you sign up. DraftKings is safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Jomboy when you sign up and get $1,000. Up to $1,000.
Up to.
That's code Jomboy to get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match. Each up to $500 deposit bonus requires 25 times play. Through restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, game 3. Rays, Yankees, Tanaka versus Morton. Morton looked great. He was crisp. Tanaka was anything but. Leaving a lot of pitches over the heart of the plate. Being a little predictable with his pitch mix. The Rays take advantage. The Yankees cannot get out the bottom of the Rays order. Wendell, Adames, Kiermaier, Perez, the 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 8 hits combined and 6 RBIs. The Yankees offense can't get anything going against Morton, really. They got him in 1 inning when he was out of the stretch. He was pretty not great. When he was in the windup, he was absolutely dominant. This game, for me, falls on Tanaka. And we said this multiple times. I say it about a lot of things. Until you're not, you are. And I say until you're not a beast in the playoffs, you are. He's not anymore. The rain kind of fucked him in Cleveland, but, I mean, this was just not a good outing by Masahiro Tanaka. Not sharp at all. Higashioka, the catcher at the end, said, yeah, I think we were very predictable. Kiermaier seeing that first pitch hanging curve, first pitch hanging slider in the middle of the zone. He did that a lot. And then Kiermaier said, yeah, I figured he was going to throw me one of those, so I was waiting for it. And that's a big home run. Bummer.
Trevor, your Yanks.
I got just a few questions. The whole Higashioka starting thing, like, I'm torn because I do think you should reward players that like earn that distinction and have been playing well. But Gary Sanchez has earned the right to struggle a little bit and still be in the freaking lineup, man. So this was a reach for me. This is a reach for me. Teams that I read this today. I need to get this stat up, but I'll give it the correct stat later. But you need to out-homer teams in the playoffs. That's what wins playoff. The teams that out-homer the other team in playoff games win over 70% of the time. So the old notion that you got to move runners over and do all this shit in the playoffs is not true. You need to score runs. You score runs by hitting homers. You need to have one of the better home run hitters in the game in your lineup. Like, let him figure it out. Live and die with your dudes, man. Like, don't try to get cute and put Higgy in there. Like, I love Higgy. He's a good dude, but this is Gary Sanchez we're talking about. And I think, like, we're probably going to see Gary Sanchez in there today because why? Higgy went 0 for 3. If you really believe in Higgy, he better be back in there today. Because you're going to take a 1-game sample size and then say, oh, so actually, he's not hot. He's not hot. Let's put Gary back in there. To me, that was a huge mistake. I mean, look, what was the final score ended up being 8-4. Gary Sanchez pumps one, the game totally changes. I just don't understand why the Yankees are trying to get cute with everything right now. I just don't get it.
That move, what you're saying is fair.
It was being applauded. It was being applauded throughout Yankee Twitter.
What you're saying is fair, but it's also problem 10 on the list. And unfortunately, Gary Sanchez's bad play made this a situation. Kyle played nice, which you said, you like rewarding guys.
Yeah, I do.
But also, Gary's played like shit this year and the end of last year. A lot of Gary's good baseball numbers from last year
He's just not a good player anymore?
We don't know. I mean, things got to be talked about and reworked. The catching situation, they call it day to day, and I think it is.
Day by day.
Tanaka gets lit up. Playoff Tanaka, we were on that. He's looked bad. His 2 playoff starts this year. That stinks. Chad Green comes in. They use one of their good relievers trying to limit the damage. He gets pumped. And you just can't do that. Charlie Morton looked good. And he's a really good pitcher, and he can do that. And Trev, yeah, kind of what you're saying with the home run stuff. The Rays, it feels like if they beat the Yankees, it should be with pitching, defense, and timely hitting, right? But, man, they outmashed the Yankees in a lot of the games this year. And, again, it's these guys that if you look at their baseball reference, it doesn't make sense on paper. Kevin Kiermaier, Randy Rosarena, I can't even really talk about right now. Michael Perez, their backup catcher. He shows bunt the first 2 pitches, gets down 0-2, hits one oppo field at San Diego. Piss missile, peacocks it. So they out-hit the Yankees. The Yankees couldn't stop the bleeding. The Rays scored 4 out of 5 innings from the 2nd through the 6th, which, that's just a bad feeling when you can't stop the other team.
Joey Wendell has a .583 bad on-base percentage these 3 games. He's like I said, he's an aggravating fuck, but the Rays are really impressive. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. They utilize... it's, what they do? You know how Native Americans used to kill the buffalo, but they made sure they used every single bit of the buffalo. They didn't disrespect the buffalo by just leaving it to die. Every bit of it got used, Trev. That's how the Rays use their lineup and their roster. Everything that they can squeeze out, they do. If Joey Wendell needs to check swing to beat the shift, he'll check swing to beat the shift, and he'll have a 600 on-base percentage. Perez needs to homer off an 0-2 pitch in the zone. He'll do it. It's impressive, and it's frustrating as a Yankee fan, but it's definitely impressive.
Okay, so let's go back to the homer thing, because this is the Yankees game. This is their offensive plan, is to mash baseballs. And it's a lot of teams plan to do that, especially in today's game. They realize the value of that. It's similar to the Warriors coming in and just raining 3's and just taking the league over. That's what's happening. It's the Patrick Mahomes effect. Let's put up 35 a game and see what happens. That's the way sports are going, because it gives you a better chance to win. Teams out-homering their opponents that won 78% of playoff games since 2010. They're 19-1 this year when you out-homer your opponent.
Yeah, James Smythe, who does a lot of research for Yes Network, if you ever want a thread, reach out and I'll feed you his thread, because he's been on this for years now, and he's got a long thread just full of stats.
Well, it's
going against the home runs don't win in the playoffs, and it's no.
They do. They do.
They're the thing that wins.
I want to give our audience the reason why, and a really short explanation of why. It's because you
score runs.
Typically, people say you're going up against really good pitching, and it's going to shut down those homers. The opposite end of that is you're going up against really good pitching, and stringing together 3 hits in an inning is very hard. But if you pump one pitch, you can do that. So the whole get him on, get him over, get him in thing, you have to maybe do that too. You can't just completely
don't hurt.
You can't completely abandon that type of baseball. But it's the homers. It's the homers. And so that's the whole thing with me, is Gary Sanchez, fastest player ever to 100 homers, right?
Yeah.
History of the game. It's a home run hitter.
AL.
In the AL.
Ryan Howard.
I also have 100 homers in my career. Whatever.
Dang.
God, I don't just be the Yankees, bro.
What was that little tidbit at the end?
Just be the Yankees.
How many homers you got, Trev?
Where are you at? 102, something like that? 107? I forget.
It's more than that. Whatever.
BBD, you're our
Flex.
Trevor Plouffe stat guy.
106.
106. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Trevor, I think what the development needs to be is kind of what a tidbit you said there, like the get him over, that stuff. That still needs to be in more players' bags. Like, you know, there should still be half the lineup that should have that in the bag, that if you need to get a runner over, you can do that. And I think that'll be part of the evolution of this. But yeah, home runs win games, and I think that's the biggest bummer right now of Yankee fans, or maybe a fear factor of me and Jimmy's offseason. Giancarlo Stanton is playing like a lunatic. You know, he should be the story of the postseason if the Yankees were winning games. He hits another moondog. He's out of his mind. I think he has 6 homers in 5 games. Former MVP that so many Yankee fans have written off because of injuries, and he's not Aaron Judge. Well, right now, Judge stinks. He needs to get it going. And, yeah, I mean, you know, Yanks have put themselves in this situation, and hey, they got the bad man waiting for Game 5. We'll see what they can muster up for Game 4, but the Rays are beating them. They rolled out more of a lefty lineup today with Tanaka, and I think the Yankees expected that yesterday with Davey, so they're starting to puppeteer just a little bit. They had to use Castillo at the end of the game. It was his second back-to-back day, so we'll see if that becomes a factor at all between their other guys. But guess what? If they have a lead, Anderson and my arch nemesis, I blank on his name every time. Fairbanks. Those guys each can put in 2. I like Kiermaier.
God, he's the best.
But yeah, no, Yanks. It's you gotta go, man. They get beat.
Is that so? We talked about this. I called Jake last night. Sorry, Jim. I called Jake. I FaceTimed Jake last night.
Okay.
And
I was making breakdown.
We're in the same room.
You were crushing it, bro. Great breakdowns last night.
Thanks.
Before the
But
pod.
I said, I feel like Game 4 is just as much of a must-win for the Rays as it is for the Yankees. Clearly, it's a must-win for the Yankees because if they lose, they go home. But G. Cole, Game 5, I'm terrified of that shit. I'm terrified of that. I don't give a fuck about short rest. This is Garrett Cole on the mound. I'm curious to see how Cash.
I can't even think about it because Game 4, the Rays are favored and they have all the advantage in the world.
I got to see what Cash has up
huge
his sleeve.
task.
Is he going to? Do you think he empties the chamber today?
Yeah, it's
Going all out today.
It's an elimination
for tomorrow.
It's an elimination game. You have
Depends the score.
Britton and Chapman can go today and tomorrow. We'll do this in the pregame show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about Cash.
Yeah.
Cash releases fucking stable of 95ers.
It depends. It's going to depend on the score, and I think game paths have, you know.
And yeah, besides Diego, Anderson and Fairbanks can go today and tomorrow, so they're 100% pitching.
Kevin Cash, if they're down 4-1, which was the opposite of yesterday, no, I think they've got guys they trust to try to keep it and save those guys, you know, to go 2-3 innings tomorrow if they want. Like, those guys can go Hendricks mode. I think we'll talk about it on pregame show. This does need to be said, Trev, and I don't know if you saw it, and I did try to preface because I didn't want it to be whiny. There was a couple back-to-back umpire situations that did change the momentum of the game. We're not blaming the umpires.
I brought stats for you. I knew this shit was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I texted you, so
No,
producing.
the stats say that the Rays actually got it worse than the Yankees. But that one, because after that situation in the fourth, it leveled out. I hate whatever. But, I mean, that strike him out, throw him out. I don't think it changes the game. I think the Yankees still lose. That strike him out, throw him out, double play was a bad call. And, like, it's a crazy change in that inning. You go from 2 outs,
I agree. Look,
no one on.
Yes.
I'm a momentum guy. I'm not blaming the umpires.
I'm also a momentum guy, so I get where you're coming from. It's sad that this is a storyline in the postseason, man. Like, it shouldn't be.
It's not just Yankees games. I mean, it's every game there's been really bad calls.
So bad.
All right, next game. This is the one with all the drama. Padres-Dodgers. Nuts. 1-run game. Back and forth. Dugout's empty. People are yelling. A go-ahead home run was pulled back in. Tatis hits it. I mean, I made the breakdown on it, but that single play is like the most athleticism you'll see out of the 3 players involved. Like, the pitcher made a pitch, the hitter rocked it, and then the defender pulled it in. And last year's MVP, this year's new stud, and then a guy that throws BP, but it comes out of his hand 100 miles per hour. Crazy game. A lot more happened than just that. It goes back and forth. It's 4-1 Dodgers. The Padres come and make it 4-3. The Dodgers say, no, thank you. We'd like a bigger lead again. They make it 6-3. And then the Padres get a little chippy in the 9th, start coming back. They take out Jansen, which is a huge move by Roberts, and they bring in, was it Kelly?
Joe Kelly.
Bring in Kelly. He's wild. Walks 2, and then just a crazy, crazy game. I don't know. What do you got, Jake?
Ooh, yeah. The Dodgers do it. Hey, Zach Davies gets 5 innings, 4 runs, but that's the longest start by double for a Padres starter. Kershaw show, he's doing his thing until back-to-back jacks by Machado and Hosmer. And are we doing the whole Slam Diego thing? It's the belly play. He robs a homer. He hits a homer. Huge for Cody. I hope this changes his postseason experience. Dude's got an OPS in the 5. He was the MVP last year with a 1.035. Like, it's just not right, and there should be a leveling out. And yeah, man, I mean, I love the Padres making it scary. It was must watch. That 9th inning is as good as baseball gets. It was must watch. It was good for baseball, and I mean, they take out Kenley. Tatis and Machado are spitting on pitches. It's awesome. Hosmer loses a 1-1 pitch, and that kind of ends the game. But great baseball. I do think, the Ken Lee stuff is impactful for the Dodgers going forward. I mean, get Trinan or Gratterall in that role. Like, I mean, Joe Kelly's going to walk guys. I like Trinan, man. We've been kind of teasing that all year. The guy's got experience. He's got one of the best relief years in the books. But anyways, Kenley doesn't have it. Mookie Betts, they had a nice that steal on McClanahan, the rookie, the other day that we were giving Glaber love for. Mookie and Belly did that on the bases. Drew Palm comes in the game. First pitch, they steal. Nobody's thinking about it. Just good baseball. So, yeah, I mean, holy smokes. If the Padres had won this game, which they were really close to, I think we would be Padreing up. Dodgers are up 2-0. They're a better team. They're great. They survive. Go Dodgers.
Then the story of this game was Angel Hernandez was behind the plate, and we didn't really hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's because that's been a storyline in every other game. These umpires are really making their presence known. But Angel, I mean, I didn't see anything egregious, but I didn't watch completely every single pitch. But yes, what a great game. And the Kenley Jansen situation, I think the Dodgers understand how to handle him. Like, they're going to continue to put him in the closer role, especially when they have a 3-run lead or something of that nature. But his leash is going to be short because they've been going through this for a couple years now. He was okay this year during the regular season, not great. He's still their guy, but because of the depth, like they're gonna have a short leash with him. And I know all of my Dodger buddies, when he comes in, it's like they're biting their nails. They know it's going to be a problem, but got the job done last night. The whole Machado and Gratterall thing was interesting because we talk about it all the time on this. You want to have fun and do the bat flips and show off and do all that shit. That's fine, dude. But like, understand that you're going to be on the other end of that too. That's what I always told pitchers. That's what I always tell pitchers. You guys, you strike someone out, you go rah and do all this shit. Don't be mad when a hitter hits a homer and pimps it. It's the same way the other way. Machado, you want to take the bat by the barrel and throw it towards your dugout and do that and be cool about it and be on Slam Diego and we do all this shit. Don't be mad when Gratterall does something silly too. It was silly, no doubt about it. Don't say fuck you to him.
I've got a big problem with Machado and how he threw the bat. I think Tim Anderson should sue him.
Ooh,
I mean, that's Tim Anderson's move.
Yeah.
No one did it before. and then he kind of like, it's his signature move.
It's not. Look, it's just
he's stolen
come on, Manny.
valor.
Stolen valor, yeah.
Like if any team shouldn't be upset, it's the freaking Padres, dude. Do you see what they do?
Dude, I don't care. As
long
long as he didn't say, just like, as long as the fact that the only thing Machado could think to say in that instance was fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, makes it like annoying or makes it look bad. If he was like, oh, I don't hate Machado yelling there. I've never seen a pitcher do what Gratterall did after giving up a home run.
Long fly ball out.
Long fly ball out. A home run in like 80% of ballparks or something like that.
Home run there.
Yeah, home run there.
Yeah.
everywhere.
And I don't care. I don't care about any of it, really. Like, I'm not mad at anything. I just wish Machado didn't just say, fuck you. I wish he, like, I don't know, said something else, but I don't mind him screaming there.
It's across the dime, and you can't be like, hey,
shut the fuck up. I'm going to get you next time.
I'm going to get you later. And he came up against him.
That's the exact same thing he said. Jimmy said, fuck you, I'll see you.
These players don't have wit, Jimmy. These
now
jocks.
TP does.
No, like, fuck you. Like, to me, that comes off like he's personally insulted by Gratterall.
Shot at you,
like a personal insulted. But I don't care if they get into a shouting match there. I think that's all fun. And I don't care that Machado was a little bit like, dude, what are you doing?
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like,
what are you
let
doing?
these guys get hot. I don't care.
I like that they're hot, but like,
yeah.
But dude, it's the whole thing. If you're gonna do it, you gotta be able to take it. Like, come on, man.
Everyone's a hypocrite in the heat of the moment. If you're rooting for restraint or like no one did anything that crazy.
Like Max Muncy coming out of the dugout and being like, "Get back in your dugout."
I like that. Yeah,
I think it's hilarious. Like,
it's great.
Let them all yell at each other. Who cares? They didn't fight. Like, let's not encourage that, but let them yell and scream at each other. They're division rivals. Bruce Starr, hilarious. You almost gave up the yacker. You go glove toss to hat toss. I love it.
And boom, if like he's in the Breakfast Club.
That was actually really cool. I don't know what that was, but he was pumped.
If we're going to let the hitters and let the kids play, let the pitchers play, let the position players play. And how often do we see those clips? Like, it'll be in the winter, and we'll be doing Talkin Baseball, and there'll be something from the Winter League, and we'll be like, look how crazy it is. The crowd's going nuts. Guys are dancing and yelling. That's what we had. It was great. It was great.
So I actually didn't see that. I don't know where the heck I was. I might have been picking up food when I called you, Jake. This might have happened.
Yeah, you were at Jack in the Box.
Sushi.
I got sushi last night, yeah. Shibuya, shout out Cal Bass.
Sushi from Jack in the Box is gross, Trev.
It's probably not. If they had sushi, it's probably good because Jack in the Box is king. Gibby texts me, friend of the pod, Gibby, Kyle Gibson. For those who don't know,
late night.
He's big. He's big on this whole thing about celebrating. We go back and forth all the time. He goes,
weed.
We were talking about it. I mean, it was ridiculous. Never seen someone throw their hat and glove in the seventh. You can't have it both ways, fellas. We get to celebrate too. Pitchers are baseball players too. Like, he was so fired up about it.
We got to get Gibby a camera, I think.
It's a great thing. Like Machado threw his bat, he threw his glove. There's a great parallel there. I've never seen it before.
I think that should become Bruce Starr's thing. I think he gets out of an inning, throw the glove.
Were the Dodgers mad when
Machado
threw his bat?
I love that.
Yeah.
After every third out, Bruce Starr just chucks his glove towards his own dugout and then picks it up on his way to the dugout.
No, he has to have someone that's a personal glove catcher come out.
Oh, I like that too.
You can't pick your own glove up. Like someone's got
a touchdown celebration.
Like if Kike's on the bench, he hops the railing and catches the glove.
If Bruce Starr becomes a closer, that should be his closer thing. Throw it to the catcher.
There's nothing more embarrassing, and I did this a lot in my career. I'd be so frustrated running down past first base. You ground out. You're so fucking mad. End the inning. You take your helmet and spike it down. But then you got to go pick it up because you're not an asshole. You're not going to make the first base coach do that. So you throw your helmet. Sometimes it fucking comes back and hits you in the face. Sometimes it goes.
That's why Gardner stopped doing it.
You got to go pick it up, and there's just nothing worse than that as a baseball player. Like, fuck, I shouldn't have thrown it because now I got to go.
Roberts removing Kenley's, I think, is the biggest story. But yeah, Bruce Starr throwing a glove is needed.
Some final Jakey notes, and I've said this my whole life, and I'm a human idiot. Sports are the best reality TV. I mean, Mookie and Gratterall play huge parts in this game, and the whole trade this offseason and the chaos around that. Kenley Jansen, on the bump. The former Curaçao catcher, did you guys see that clip going around of Bronny getting thrown out, stealing second in the World Baseball Classic? Kenley Jansen was the catcher. So the converted catcher has now been this closer for one of the best baseball teams rolling over the past 5, 6, 7 years. He went from dominant to now not dominant, and they've got a whole thing going on. Meanwhile, the hitters coming up. Austin Nola, Aaron Nola's brother for the past couple years. Now he's becoming a stud. Trent Grisham, the guy that blew the playoff game last year that started the Nationals brigade. And then Tatis Machado, I don't have to tell you guys. Like, the storylines that were going on pitch by pitch were incredible. Sports.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Them. Steaks.
Hot.
Steaks.
Hi.
I enjoy that.
It's the best.
Trev, do you know that clip?
California Yankees, baby. Oh man, and that's what, you know what's funny is I coined that term, the California Yankees. That's mine,
Yeah,
by
sure
the way.
did.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Now they're
damn it.
Huh?
I wanted that term.
What's funny is, okay, fucking Jakey ball game is that they're gonna lose today.
Oh,
And everyone's be like,
okay.
"Oh, it's all the California guys are a bunch of pussies."
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's totally gonna backfire on me.
I'm going to look up this Rays roster because I'm sure half of them are from California too. But check out that conversation on the Talkin' Baseball pregame show coming up next.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
4 elimination games potentially today.
Yep. And
Those
I always say,
fingers.
Sausages.
I always say I'm rooting for game 5s and game 7s. I'm rooting for no games on Saturday. I could use some sleep.
Ooh.
Rooting for no games Saturday.
Sleeping when I'm dead. And I'm close.
I also have to
feel
move. I have
Yeah.
to move. I
Yeah,
have
you
to
got
move.
problems.
Gotta box up a house. All right. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Bruce Star, throw your glove after the third out every time. I mean, please do it.
Every pitch would be exhausting.
Yeah, you would need someone to catch it and throw it back immediately, and then
just
that
toss it up just really slightly above and just caught himself.
like to himself.
Yeah.
See you guys.